But Netflix also was playing it on all angles because they had that new reboot to Good Times. I'm sure you know the
Yeah.
original Good Times.
Classic.
Well, the new Good Times having a bad time. I don't know if you heard a lot of the pushback that they had for this. It comes from Stephen Curry as a producer, Norman Lear, because
Yeah.
obviously he did the original. Rest in peace. But Seth MacFarlane, I think that's where people are taking the jokes a certain way because there is a level of this that is Boondocks. And then there's a level of this that is Boondocks. Like it is just such a wannabe type of scraping at the lowest barrel of it for
Yeah,
some
yeah.
jokes. But it's not that there isn't some that hit. It's just like it takes a lot. There's a lot of misses, but there are some misses that are just egregious. And I think that's sometimes the issue with a lot of Seth MacFarlane for people, especially when it's farther away from Seth MacFarlane's MO.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes in there where like I don't know if you ever get this feeling where you hear a bad joke and you like it like strains your back almost. It's a little bit like oof, like you sink further into your seat. You want to slouch down because it doesn't hit and it feels bad to listen to. Like I I don't know what it is about the show that just makes me feel like racist for even watching it, but like the types of jokes that it's trying to go for, yeah, sure, a couple of them hit, but a lot of them just sort of feel like mean spirited. I was thinking about like another show that deals with, characters that are not from economically advantageous situations. And it was thought about a show that I liked a lot in its early days was Everybody Hates Chris, which I think also tries to deal with this idea of like a family that's, not in the best financial situation and they sort of are struggling, but they, overcome despite that. And it's just, I think that one did such a better job of making the jokes about the nature of their dynamic and the nature of their character than it did about the nature of their situation and laughing at the situation itself. And I think to me, that's one of the things that makes this show like a bit uncomfortable for me to watch.
It's also just based off of a very famous series that they could have just
Yeah.
not done, and maybe people would have liked it more. Even with Good Times, the original Good Times is the best example of this done right. If you're doing something like Boondocks, I think Boondocks even takes a lot of characters. Like when they did the Medea character, the Tyler Perry character, it was like another creation of it. Here, it is Lil Baby, Lil or the Baby, and Baby coming up to a baby just because they're like on each other's turf. It's like way too close to it also that makes it feel weird. Like they actually go to Chief Keef for advice. It takes place in Chicago. They're doing a lot of
Yeah.
Chicago centric jokes that again are bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yeah.
I will take a Lori Lightfoot joke, but damn, it's at least got to be funny and it's got to be on time. That woman's gone.
Right.
The woman's
Right.
gone. Like she's not even here anymore. So yeah, it's one of those. It's a little late, just like the premises, late on the rent. I realized how much Bob Burgers actually takes from the original Good Times because it's always about getting the rent, getting the check,
Yep.
getting whatever it is by 6 p.m. And that's like one of my favorite parts of Bob's Burger. That no matter what episode you're on, they're always just fighting to pay the rent. So if you wanted a better version of Good Times, why the heck is it Bob's Burgers? Go watch that
Right.
one instead. If you want to test it out, Good Times is a lot like Chicago Party Ant. So someone in the Netflix animation department hates Chicago that they keep making these stereotypical stuff.